IVM.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Musafir Stories, India's very own travel podcast, where each week we share the journey of travelers in their own words and relive their experiences with you, our listeners. I am Faiza with my co-host Saif, and our guest traveler today is Surya Raju from the blog Travelrope. Surya is a software engineer by profession, a trained Bharatnatyam and a Kathak dancer, a state rank holder in her MTech, and an avid animal lover.
Along with all of this, she is also a travel blogger. With Travelrope, Surya blogs about her travel experiences to various destinations and also publishes very useful itineraries of these trips.
Well, she's also been featured on Huffington Post India, Photokatha, Independent Traveler, Travel Another India, and Tripoto. Her blog has been featured as one of the top blogs to be followed by Holidify and Social Samosa. Wow, that's a lot. Thank you, Surya, and welcome to our show.
Thank you so much for a lovely introduction. Seriously, it's definitely a pleasure to be here. And I was just telling you guys a couple of months back, this is like my first podcast, sort of an interview. So it's like very new to me, and I'm like, literally so excited to be on the podcast and everything. Like too fancy for me, actually.
Same here. I mean, we are
It's
so
our
excited.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Awesome, yeah.
So, Surya, we've done a quick intro of you. Why don't
Yeah.
you add on things we might have missed out? Your personal story, like where did you get started and how did traveling get to you? Like,
I used to actually travel quite a lot with my parents, but it used to be like mostly within India, and majority of the times it used to be like more of the South India. That's where we used to travel. But then what happened, I got like a doggy home and, she was like the pampered one at home and everything. So I think for about like 12 years, the time that she was there with us. So we made sure that, we don't leave her in any like pet stay places and all of that. And we wanted to like personally take care of her. So we used to like travel like either me or mom, me or dad and mom. So the three of us, never got to go together for that, period of 12 years. So that again, after that, I got married. And my husband, Vimal, he's been like a great, great support system for me. And, he was like one of those persons, who was like really pushing me to go out there and probably, put down my experiences, because I used to love telling stories, about my travels and, how awesome the place was or how bad the place was or yeah, so he started telling me, like, why don't you just start writing maybe, So I thought, okay, why not, just for myself maybe. So it all started on Tumblr.
Wow.
So I just write it over there and, just keep it as it is. Then one fine day I thought, okay, why not just put it on Facebook? I didn't even have like a page or whatever. It was just like on my timeline and, I posted it there. So then my friends started reading it and, I started to get good readership. So for about like 3 to 4 months, I think I was on Tumblr itself. Then thought, okay, I should go out there and have my own website up. So that's when Travelrope was born, like a proper Travelrope website and all.
is there a story behind the name, Surya, or is this just something close to your heart?
The funniest part is I just wanted something related to travel, okay? So I went there to the hosting domain thing and stuff. And I'm like, okay, what are the domain names that I can get something with travel and stuff? So I thought, okay, then a couple of things popped up and stuff. I like the Travelrope the best. So not much of a thought behind it because I thought, okay, it's going to be like a very small scale thing and stuff. So, I just went ahead with Travelrope and eventually ended up liking it a lot. So no complaints about it now.
Yeah, it's an amazing name. It just ropes you into traveling. It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I can use that line somewhere maybe. Thank you.
And just to be clear, Surya, all this while you were still working your with your day job, right? At no point.
Yes.
Yeah, that's even impressive given the amount of progress you've made and all the publications you've been published on. doing all this while you're doing your daytime job. Hats off, really.
Thank you. So, that's another thing that I would want to say to people, don't just quit your job just to travel and all. I know there are lot of articles and all. It's just my personal view. I'm not trying to influence anybody, but I would say do take a conscious, decision before you actually take a leap into something like this, because it's not easy. You don't get paid like on a constant basis. You have to keep like sort of, trying out different things and stuff. So if you're working, so don't just go out there and quit just because you want to travel. You can still do all of this while you're still working, and you can always take time out to do this thing.
So, having known more about Surya and her story so far, why don't we get into the thick of things and ask Surya where she's taking us today?
So today I'm going to take you all to one of my favorite places in the entire world also, I might say, Sikkim.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's going to be Sikkim.
Okay, so why Sikkim? What made you decide that I want to go to travel to Sikkim? What was the first?
Was it accidental travel or did
Yeah.
you plan it out?
No, it was a very much planned travel. So we wanted to travel in the month of December. And the intention was I wanted to see snow in India. So that was the whole rationale behind it. And we thought, why not Sikkim? Because, during when I went, I think it was about 2 years back, so still not many people had been to Sikkim, at least in my known circles. It was like really, really beautiful. And I thought, okay, I should go to Sikkim. And that's how we decided that, let's just go to Sikkim for like a week or something. Yeah. I think we went for about 7 to 8 days to Sikkim. Just that.
Okay. And what's a good time to travel, Surya? Was that a good time, December, or is there like a peak season or off-season period?
Yeah. So what I would say is, if you travel in the month of April or May, so you may not find like snow or anything, but you will find like a lot of flowers, that actually blooms during that period, and they're called as rhododendrons.
Uh-huh.
So you get to see like an entire valley filled with flowers and things like that. So I think if you want to see something of that kind, then April, May would be like the best time to visit. So if you are not too much of a winter person and you don't want to see a lot of snow, and you just want to like have the other kind of a thing, so April, May would be good. But if you're looking to witness a bit of snow and you want to just go around and have fun, I think before like December 3rd week would be a good time. Actually, we were, I think, quite lucky because the roads were thankfully not closed when we went.
Exactly. Because I was thinking that because snow, they end up closing so many.
Yeah, they do end up closing a lot of places because a lot of snowfall happens.
Right.
So we were actually quite lucky. We just took a chance and we went. So we were pretty lucky at that point of time, I guess. So I think before December 3rd week it would be a good time, even if you want to like see snow and have a nice time there. Yeah, December 1st, 2nd week I think should be good.
Right.
Okay.
And how about clothes? I mean, is it okay to just take the regular clothes from here and take a sweater along and we can buy stuff there, or?
Yeah, I mean, if you're traveling in December, then I would say please do carry all your winter wear, like whatever is possible. Because, when I went to one of North Sikkim, actually, especially North Sikkim, places like Lachen and Lachung. So the places where we were staying, they didn't even have like heaters, the room heaters, because they're actually villages. Like a proper village, but like really beautiful, really scenic and everything. There's a house, and right next to a house, we had this beautiful waterfall and everything, and you can see snow everywhere. Wow. So it's like that, but there are no room heaters, okay? So
how do people manage,
Yeah, I mean, it was like, I don't know, there was something in minus, okay? The temperature just literally dropped to minus something at night, and there's no TV, okay? There's no TV. And there was absolutely no cellular networks over there. Okay, so only SIM that could work there was BSNL, and not have any BSNL SIM card or anything. So
it looks like it's authentic countryside experience, right?
Absolutely. So we wanted to have something, some experience of that kind. So we consciously, went for it. So if you're like not that kind of a person who would like, literally get bored if nothing is around, then I think not the place.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
Surya, how did you guys get there? Just about the logistics of getting to
Yeah,
Sikkim and getting to the place where you guys went.
Yeah, we were traveling from Bangalore. So we took a flight to Bagdogra. So we had a pit stop in Kolkata. So one day in Kolkata, and the next day we took off from Kolkata to Bagdogra. So it's a very small airport actually. So from Bagdogra airport or the nearest railway station, you will again have to take a car, a taxi or whatever to get to Gangtok. And this ride, I think it might take about like 5 to 6 hours to get to Gangtok, because you can actually find a lot of traffic jam on the way. It is like peak hours and so many people traveling to and fro, Gangtok to Bagdogra. So it's gonna definitely take more than 5 hours to get to Gangtok from Bagdogra. So I would say that, definitely plan your day out, because I think one entire day can actually,
in
go.
traveling, yeah.
Yeah, just getting to Gangtok. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So is this path a little too uphill, and is it just a normal road? How is the?
It's actually pretty scenic. So, but as you get very closer to Gangtok and all, you will start seeing all those beautiful mountains, and it is an uphill. You're actually, getting onto a mountain, and you can see the Tista River flowing just by the side of the road. So, the first time you see Tista River, it's got a very distinct color, a green color kinds. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. The first time you see Tista River, you will be like really blown away. Yeah. So it's very beautiful. The entire path to get there, and even around Sikkim, it's all scenic, totally scenic. But what I would say is, until unless you know proper driving, so don't try to drive on your own. So what we did, we actually signed up with a travel agency in Gangtok. So we contacted somebody in Gangtok to actually get a car and a driver to take us around, because the terrains are like really, really like, what do I say, rugged, because there are like big, big mountains, and the roads are really narrow, and not all roads are tarred. So you will still find a lot of these muddy roads filled with rocks, stones, and everything. And in between these roads also, you might actually find a little stream of water flowing and all of that. So until unless you're like really, really professional driver type, so I don't think you should even drive. So better to go with somebody who knows driving over there, because people in Sikkim would be well versed with how the terrains are, and they're the best people to take you around. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Did you use Gangtok as like the base camp, or how is it, Surya? Just give us a highlight of your itinerary. Where did you start off from? And
so our first stop was Gangtok. So we landed in Gangtok and we stayed there for a day. So the first day, I think we reached sometime in the evening. We just went around Gangtok, and there's this beautiful place called MG Road over there. So it's
famous MG Road.
Yeah, famous MG Road, and it's totally beautiful. It actually gives you like an European country feel, that MG Road. Yeah. So there are no vehicles allowed over there. So you will have to just look around the place just by walk. In this MG Road that I'm talking about. So there are benches all around, and there are shops. You can go and do some little souvenir shopping or whatever, or winter wear. You get like really good winter wear at very low costs, and good boots and everything. So it's a great place to shop. Also, there's like a proper square, like you can also get to see like some nice folk dances, like which is specific to Sikkim. So you can get to see all those cultural activities as well. So this is something that you definitely have to do. So we did all of that in the evening. And the next day, we went to Nathula Pass. So it's the Indo-China border. So we thought, okay, we should get there. To get to Nathula Pass, you need to have a permit. So without the permit, you're not allowed to go to Nathula Pass. The agency which we had booked helped us get this permit as well. So until unless you have the permit, I don't think they will allow anybody to go there, because it's a border, Indo-China border, and it's heavily guarded. In a day, only these many cars can actually go there. It's that kind of a thing. So, say for example, if 100 registrations are done for the day, so they will not allow any more to go.
So what all documents do you need to like go ahead and apply
get these
for a
permits?
permit. Yeah.
This was actually taken care of by the travel agency. So I think we had given some ID proof was needed. So we had sent that already from Bangalore itself. So we didn't have to go and wait for the pass there because, it takes quite some time to get these permits as well because long queues would be there. So they had already procured it for us the previous day itself. So they will give you like a permit and things like that.
Once at Nathula Pass, what are the things to do?
Yeah, so Nathula Pass. So first of all, it's like I said, the entire place is really really beautiful and everything. So on the way to Nathula Pass, only you can see the Somgo Lake. The Somgo Lake is one of the most famous lakes there. So whoever goes to Gangtok will definitely visit the Somgo Lake. So you go there and you actually get to see yaks, and you can even dress up like in traditional Sikkim wear, take pictures and all of that. And you can you can do all of that at Somgo Lake. You can do that. And from there, we went to Nathula Pass. So in Nathula Pass, you cannot take pictures there. Yeah, and if any army person sees you doing that, then you can even be thrown into jail for doing that, or even like a lot of fine is there. So it's very it's very very strict, very very strict. So no photographs to be taken there.
That's only because of the proximity to the Chinese border, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and I remember reading this on your blog as well, that there was this, across the border, there was this officer who was constantly looking at all of you guys and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The border is like what? It's like a small rope that's been tied, okay? So small rope. That's it. That's the border. And you can see the Indian army men standing on our side, and right next to them, there are this Chinese army men, right? So it's like you can even touch them. So there's just like one single rope, and you can see the both the countries' army base camps present there, and
Are foreigners allowed to travel this far? Remember reading something on these lines?
Yeah, so there are some restrictions for foreigners to get to Nathula Pass. I'm pretty not sure whether it's Nathula Pass or Gurdongmar Lake.
Okay.
So one of these two places, foreigners are not allowed. Traveling from India, then definitely Nathula Pass is something that you definitely need to experience. You definitely see how much the Indian army men are really putting up with, with climate and altitude and everything. It's definitely not easy.
Seriously, hats off to all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, post that, we again came back to Gangtok the very same evening. Okay. So this again takes about like 2 to 2.5 hours, given the kind of terrain it is. Right. And the next day morning, we left to Lachen. Lachen is another small village, and it takes about 4.5 to 5 hours to get to Lachen from Gangtok. I don't think you get bored because you're seeing everything for the first time and you're like really enjoying every single thing. And, everywhere pit stops are done to take like pictures, and you can see the Kanchenjunga mountain, and, you want to take like photographs of that and things like that. You can do that.
So are there any options to travel by bus or any public transport as well?
Yeah, public transport is there, but it's quite limited. But majority of them book taxi.
Right.
Sumo types cars are there. That's the only type of car that can actually, go through these roads. The easiest way to get around. You can book a taxi. Yeah.
So how long of a drive was it to Lachen?
From Gangtok to Lachen was like 5 hours. And Lachen is where I was telling you that you will not find any network other than BSNL. So things could have perhaps changed now. So, it was like a homestay. There were like a family staying there, and they had given us a room. So they used to like cook food for us for dinner and breakfast. So from Lachen,
I think it's. I'm sorry to interject. I think it's a good way to experience the local life there. Also, I guess.
Yes, yes.
Living in homestays.
So they can actually, tell you what are the places that you want to see. It was more like the Airbnb experience for me then. I had not yet tried out Airbnb when I had actually been to Sikkim. So
was this arranged by your travel agency?
Yes, they had taken care of it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So Lachen, in this village, what I would like to say, the distinguishing factor of this place is there are no plastics allowed here. So we are actually thinking of banning plastics and all now, but it was already done then. So no mineral water bottles allowed, no plastic allowed. So you will have like a police checkpoint and stuff where they will actually check, whether you're carrying any mineral water bottles and things. So yeah, you're not allowed to carry that.
Looks like they're far ahead of us in terms of
Yes,
ecotourism, right?
absolutely. So it was like a total ecotourism, like it was like really nice to know that, people are like so strictly following that. This was like, a very, very beautiful, beautiful place. So, but I was saying, if you want to do like a regular shopping kind of an experience, this is not the place. This is definitely not the place.
Right.
So if you want to just go out there on your own, just relax and, just be with the nature, then this is the kind of place that you would want to go.
Right. And with absolutely no network and all that, I think like the tagline, you disconnect to connect would be like the best thing.
Yes, absolutely. It was just me, my husband, we got so much of time to just talk about so many things.
so
And,
true.
and I said, the temperatures were like just dropping down by every hour of the night. And I think we were mostly thinking about like, how do we save ourselves from this like temperature? What do we do? We had like 7 layers of like clothing and still we were like feeling cold, and there was no way that even, we could remove the gloves or anything because your hands would just get numb within like seconds. And we took out that mattress, those thin mattresses that you get. So there were like multiple of them in the room, and we actually wrapped those mattresses around us to just save ourselves from that like cold without the heater and everything. It's like a totally different kind of an experience, and you don't get to do this quite often.
And how long did you stay in Lachen?
Yeah, so Lachen was one day. So we reached in Lachen. We stayed there for a night because next day early morning we wanted to get to Gurdongmar Lake. Okay. So Gurdongmar Lake is like one of the tallest lakes in the world. So it's located at about 17,000 feet, I guess. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So from Lachen, I think we started about 4:30 in the morning. And we reached Tangu. There's another village called Tangu. Okay, it's like a midpoint kind of a place. Okay. So our driver took us to this place and for breakfast. So this is like just one small house, and everywhere there are like snow-clad mountains around, and there's this Tista river flowing just by the side of this Chotu house. You have these doggies playing around and snow everywhere, and this beautiful bridge. So our breakfast was there. So breakfast was Maggi noodles and nice cup of chai. Okay. But I swear to God, seriously, I mean, you have to get to this place for sure. So it was like a dreamland, like. And every house was like at least 1 kilometer away from each other. So nothing cluttered or, next to each other kinds. And you can see a lot of army base camps. You can see those army trucks going up and down, army vehicles, army men are all around. So I think, so from Tangu, that's where we had like breakfast and all. From there, we actually went to this Chopta Valley. Okay, so Chopta Valley. So this is another place. So if you go in April or May, you can see like this valley totally filled up with like flowers. So there's something called as a rhododendron that's like very special to Sikkim. So you can see the entire valley filled with flowers. So if you want to experience something like that, then you can go and do it in April or May. But during December, then, it's going to be like totally filled with snow. Right. So you're just there. There are hardly a few vehicles coming here and there now and then, and it's just you and these big beautiful mountains, just snow everywhere.
That's amazing.
It's like,
because considering like at least the majority of the population of India, I don't think many of us would have like experienced snow. So I think this is like the perfect destination.
Yeah. So from Chopta Valley, if you go a little further ahead, then you get Gurdongmar Lake. Post that, we again came back to Lachen, and immediately we started off to Lachung. We did not go back to Gangtok. So
this is what time of the day? Was it like end of day or?
No, afternoon. We started in afternoon. Okay. We had lunch and then we started to Lachung.
Okay. And just before we head off, any issues with the high altitude AMS or anything like that?
So, the drivers ensure that they're very slow so that we also get used to the altitude.
Okay.
So, but we had taken those tablets for this mountain sickness and all that you may get, but we didn't have to use any of that. But they do ensure that, they take us slowly so that we also get acclimatized to such high terrains, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like in one shot you get there. So that's the reason why they, stop at regular intervals so that we're also getting used to it. And they take a long time to get to the point. So that's the reason why I was saying, it easily takes like 4 to 5 hours to get anywhere to anywhere. So you want to do it like really slowly and not just rush into it.
You started off from Lachen after lunch.
Yes,
Okay.
to Lachung. Yeah.
To Lachung.
So,
okay.
So Lachen to Lachung. So that again took us about like 4 to 5 hours, I think. 4 to 5 hours easily. So this was more like a hotel room. So it was not like a homestay as such. But there were cooks who used to just, cook food and give us. So there was nothing like a menu as such. So they used to tell what, they could probably do for us and things like that. So we had like nice pakoras and also they were like really all. So when we asked them, the pakoras and everything such available. So they were really sweet and kind and they made us all of that. So in Lachung, we stayed there for a night, the day we reached. So we couldn't go anywhere out that day. So we stayed back over there. And the next day morning, we left to a place called Yumesamdong Valley.
Okay.
That's I think about 1.5 hours, I think from Lachung,
Okay.
1.5 hours to 2 hours. So in Yumesamdong Valley again, so you can see these flowers and it's a valley of flowers actually if you go in April or May. So you also have hot water springs there in Yumesamdong Valley. So you can get to do both of that. So we went there and went to those hot water springs with that.
So
and
experience in a hot water spring somewhere when there's snow all around.
Yeah.
Wow.
So apparently, like no matter how badly it's snowing or anything at all, so the water over here, it's always hot. Like it's a hot water spring. So any time of the year you will get to witness this. So from Yumesamdong Valley, we went to a place called 0 Point. That's a place where the road just stops there and there is no other path beyond that. It's a dead end. Okay, so you cannot go beyond that. So this is also called as Yumesamdong. Or it's a 0 Point. So in 0 Point, you get this nice spicy chana, Maggi, and chai, coffee, and this is also at a very high altitude, by the way. So, you be there, the snow, it's so cold, and you're eating Maggi, chana, and chai, coffee, and all of that, right?
Wow.
And yeah, it's very nice. It's very nice. So you can play there in snow. You can do all of that. So spend some good amount of time there and come back. So that's what we did in Lachung actually. And after Lachung, we came back to Gangtok. We stayed there another night in Gangtok. So after staying back for another night in Gangtok, the next day we thought, okay, we will do the South Sikkim. So we started moving towards this one, Namche and Pelling and all of that. Okay. So then we went to Namche. There's a very famous Shiva temple there. So you can go there in Namche. So from Gangtok to Namche also, again, it takes about 4 hours. So you can go to the Shiva temple there. And from there, there's another place called Samdrupse. So it's like a monastery. So you can go there. It's like really beautiful, Samdrupse. You can go there. And from Namche, we thought, okay, let's go to Pelling as well. So the same day, I think sometime in the evening, we left to Pelling. And we reached Pelling almost by night. So we just took rest that day. And the next day, we went to, there's a very famous monastery there in Pelling. Okay, so it's called Pemayangse. You can go to this Pemayangse monastery. It's like really nice, very calm and serene too. And if you like to do like nature walks and given that you have some amount of time in your hands, you can also go to this place called Rabdense Ruins. So earlier apparently they were like a palace or something. Now it's all in ruins. But it is like you have to do like a nature walk to get to the place. So it's like almost like forest and everything, and you walk for like.
How long does it take to get there?
You at least need 2 to 3 hours in hand. if you want to do rather than say ruins. So 2 to 3 hours at least for this.
Okay. And is it like too uphill to walk or just like a plain
No,
terrain?
no, no. It's a
forest.
plain terrain.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a plain terrain. So not to worry. Yeah. So there was also another place that we couldn't do. It was called Singshore Bridge. That was a pretty famous.
Okay.
But then we had to catch a flight back the next day, the same day actually. So we had to leave early.
Right, and it takes another 5 or few hours to get to the airport.
So some telling to get to Bagdogra, it again takes us like 5 to 5.5 hours.
Oh my
so
God.
we had to plan for that and leave. So we couldn't do the Singshore Bridge. So yeah, I mean, so we did this, I think, in like 7 to 8 days.
Wow.
And yeah, it was like brilliant. It was just brilliant.
I know. I mean, just listening to you, I feel like going to that place. I love the way you're explaining as well. It's so perfect.
Thank you. So that was like my little gist about my Sikkim trip and my experiences. What I want to actually call out is the way people are in Sikkim. They're like one of the nicest people ever. Seriously. So, when we had been to 0 Point also, I made like friends with this one person who was, selling tea. So she came along with us till Lachung because her house was there and she asked if she could just accompany us. And, she gave us this like awesome, amazing salt tea. That was the first time I was ever having a tea with salt instead of sugar. Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
It almost tastes like soup, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. And she's telling me that, the milk and everything. So they have their own cows at home and, that's how they get milk and stuff. So she was telling me all of that. So,
wow.
Yeah, so I mean, the people there are like really nice and warm and kind to you. So there are no worries about something getting stolen or some people being rude to you or anything of that kind. Mm-hmm. So one of the nicest, like people you can find there. And even our driver, Suresh, oh my God, he was like a wonderful gentleman. Yeah, so he actually took us to all these nice places and, he was telling what we should see and, he was telling us a little bit about the places and stuff. And whenever you're Sikkim, right, do ensure that you're having tea in Sikkim. They're just so out of the world, like really out of the world. I was actually looking for that tea powder dabba everywhere. It's called China Gold tea, people. If you ever find this China Gold tea, just grab a big dabba of that and get it. Yeah, I just loved it. Yeah, it was like really amazing experience for me. Yeah. So yeah, that was about Sikkim for you guys.
Yeah, and what about the language? I mean, when you communicate with the locals there, which language? Is it Hindi?
Yeah, they know Hindi. Okay. They know Hindi very well. Yeah. Hindi and a bit of English as well. So that works. They all know Hindi. Yeah.
That was an amazing journey, Surya. I'm sure a lot of people are envious of you right now.
I know.
And they want to be in Sikkim right away. So just to add a quick question there. What was one most memorable moment for you during your trip in Sikkim? If you have to just shut your eyes and then think about this trip, what is the one thing that comes up to your mind?
So I think it would be Tangu for me, the place, after Lachen, before getting to Chopta Valley and Gurdongmar Lake. Yeah. So there's this place called Tangu, which I said, we will stop there for breakfast.
And Maggie,
Maggie, cha. And there were like cute doggies around to play with and, beautiful place. So this is one place that just flashes in my mind when I think of Sikkim. So
any travel advice or tips that you would like to give to our listeners?
Anything in the hindsight, anything that you would do differently if you had to go back?
To Sikkim?
Yeah.
Or
to Sikkim.
Okay, no.
Sikkim, yeah.
I think maybe now I think I would have done more like research or something like when to travel, because when I went in December, like I said, we were plain lucky, so we didn't have like many roads blocked and stuff. But if you like going in like third week or the fourth week, then chances are that many of the roads would be closed. So you may want to be like really careful about that and plan your trip, in a better way. So apart from that, I don't think I would want to change anything at all about this trip. I think it was like one of those, perfect trip for me. Yeah, I mean, every single way.
It sounds so perfect. I mean, just listening to you, I'm serious. I could like imagine every word, every place.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting it so beautifully.
I know.
So
perfectly.
descriptive, and so real. It just feels like you are on that journey. We are on that journey with you.
That's true.
Thank you. I hope I don't bore you guys out because I was like going on and on. But anyway,
No, that's absolutely what we want. We want to hear more from you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Surya.
No, thank you all. The pleasure is all ours. And Surya, what other projects are on the horizon? Are you looking at more travel or any new projects? Why don't you speak a little bit about your blog and the other things you do with your blog, like Inspire Me, for instance?
Right. So I just got back from a trip to Japan. I think I just went for like about 8 days to Japan and I'm back. So it's just been like 2 weeks now since I'm back. Yeah. That's another beautiful story that I have, and that's like one of the best countries that you can get to. I feel it's not like I have like all good travel stories to say. I've had like bad experiences in some places too. So, with respect to my blog, right? Apart from writing my own travelogues, I also do take stories from other people as well. So whenever they approach me, if they can, to share their experience, then I'm more than welcome to do that. So I do that as well. So apart from that, I also run a series called as Inspire Me.
Right.
So Inspire Me was started like much later, after I started writing travelogues and stuff like that. It was started much later. So the first person who I wrote to was Alicia Souza, the very famous illustrator, right? Mm-hmm. So I think if she had said no, probably things might have been a little different because she very kindly agreed to give me her interview and all of that. So, it was more like I got that confidence that, I can, definitely reach out to these people. They're all celebrities in their own ways, right?
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, they've started small and they've grown into these big personalities. So, so I started with Alicia Souza and, because she said yes, I think that actually boosted my confidence. And, I went out there and started reaching out to like various people. And I think it's all about, how they are such an inspiration to so many people out there, right? I mean, you can just derive inspiration from anyone at all. So for me, just to keep going, I do reach out to all these people just to know what their struggles are, how did they overcome that? What are they doing to constantly reinvent themselves and, what keeps them going, right? So that's what I usually try and look for in those interviews. And I think all of those people who have interviewed so far on the Inspire Me series are all about that. Yeah.
That's amazing. Surya, after listening to you and listening to all the work you do, I'm sure a lot of people and a lot of our listeners want to reach out to you with their stories, with their conversations too. How can they reach you?
So they can always reach me on my Facebook page. It's called Travelrope. So you can reach out to me via that. Or I have a Twitter handle. It's again travel_rope. You can reach out to me via Twitter as well. I have an Instagram account as well. So again, just search for Travelrope there too. The easiest way, again, would be mail. So travelrope@gmail.com. So you can always reach out to me via email and I will get back to you at the earliest.
Amazing. And for all the listeners out there, we'll have links to all of these contact details in the show notes page of this podcast. So
thank you, Surya.
Thank you.
That was yet another great episode of the Musafir Stories. If you guys like the show, please subscribe to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Pocket Radio, or any other podcasting app that's available on iOS or Android. You could also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We go by the handle The Musafir Stories. Or, if it suits you, you could email us at themusafirstories@gmail.com and visit our website www.themusafirstories.com for more information. All of these links will be made available in the show notes section of the podcast. So here's to more traveling, sharing, and inspiring. Stay tuned for our next episode. Until then, happy travels and goodbye.